Water is a precious commodity. We fail to recognize that at times.
Water is not, it's a finite resource. There is only so much of it.
We are wanting to be better stewards of the planet.
Through recycling water, we actually get another source of water that we can use in this world of scarcity.
And so we had to find alternative sources for water.
We have the technology.
This was revolutionary.
I think we need to recycle our water. We need to think about that.
Just extremely important to have one more source of water.
It's an awesome responsibility. We're stewards of this water.
I can honestly say this is the purest water I've worked with, even in the time that I've been here at the city. We've been producing for over 20 years water that we do indirect potable recharge with, but this water goes even a little bit beyond that.
Scottsdale has a long tradition of innovation with water recycling in Arizona and throughout the Southwest. We take our water and we treat it, and then we treat it again to ultrapure standards, and then we put it back in the aquifer. And Scottsdale's been, since 2006, been putting more water back into the aquifer than we've taken out. So Scottsdale's been doing what we call indirect potable reuse for a number of years, for over 20 years. In 2018, the Department of Environmental Quality changed the rules that allowed for a transition from indirect potable reuse to direct potable reuse. The difference between that and direct potable reuse is that we can now take that water and treat it again to ultrapure standards, and then provide it to customers as a drinking water source.
The advanced water treatment technologies start with our ultrafiltration, and that's what this cutaway is showing you here. And it's all in preparation for treatment with our ROs. We have 17 standalone skids or trains of reverse osmosis. Each train or skid has 41 individual pressure vessels. So again, we're filtering out down to the ion level, so our water quality is very, very pure. Our treatment process is critical for the end result of what we're producing with our advanced, highly treated water, ultra pure water.
We're proud to be a leader, helping teach the communities around the country what it's going to take to be able to serve this water. We treat this water and we test for it to standards that are far beyond drinking water. We test for a longer list of contaminants than are part of drinking water, and the permit holds us to a higher standard than any of the permits that we have related to any other water that we produce. And the reason for that is because this is water that comes with a perception that is different than regular drinking water.
The water we produce is truly ultra pure water. It's some of the best water in the world. And so there's no logical reason not to consume that water and use that water. And we're hoping through the process that we can convince people of that fact. And then we thought, well, what better way to introduce people to recycled water and drinking it to put it in beer, make it fun, make it enjoyable, and get people past the process of thinking of where the water came from and just thinking this is good water.
This water that we're using comes from people's dishwashers, their washing machines, their showers, and yes, even their toilets.
But you just can't give someone a glass of water and say, here you go, you can drink this. It's recycled. Awesome. So we invited breweries to participate. We had 11 who joined up. They created 10 different brews, and those 10 brews are here for folks to taste and enjoy.
I think it's outstanding.
Yeah, no, I think the projects that they've got going on is something we can be proud of in Scottsdale. It's really kind of neat.
It's a fantastic opportunity for us to work with local breweries, get them involved, kind of get them participating and coming up with their own creative process. So partnering up with them was extremely crucial for us to understand and for them to understand what this means for the potable reuse of the water.
We use a lot of water. Every time we brew, clean kegs, clean the tanks and all that, water, 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 and it's all going down the drain, so it's like,
reusing.
We felt it would be a perfect showcase, a fun way to be able to educate folks about what the city of Scottsdale is doing. Actually taking recycled water and turning it into potable use, and then us being able to use it is huge.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. Why not? As long as it's good, it's better than pure water. Why not? Let's do this.
What a better place to tell the story of recycled water than at an event in beautiful downtown Scottsdale that is an event celebrating the story of water. Canal Convergence was the absolute logical choice for us to launch the One Water Brewing Showcase. We need to be able to educate people, and through outreach efforts like this, through transparency, we're hoping that we can move that public perception needle so that people understand that all water is recycled. We were told by many of the breweries that the water was so pure that they had to add things back into it. When the water leaves our facility, it is basically H2O.
And finding an organization like Scottsdale Water that is able to produce a water as clean as it is, it was a perfect opportunity for us to test yet another opportunity at sustainability. And delivering a product that is 95% or more water, it makes sense that we want to protect the biggest resource that we're using.
On paper, brewing is not a very conservative process, so anything we can do to help offset that is crucial to us. And you can experiment a bit, and if that experimentation means getting out of your comfort zone a little bit and using what science has shown to be a great water source, then I think you should go ahead and do that. I think there's nothing holding you back other than just public perception, and there is a lack of negative public perception, so I don't think that excuse holds much water at all.
We were really excited when this opportunity came across. Oh, it's fantastic water. It's as good or better than the water that we normally use through our filtering systems that we have here.
We do live in Arizona and water is scarce. We use a lot of water. Also, they provided us some free water, so that helps us out, 1,000 gallons. So it's reclaimed water that they filtered, and they filter everything out. It basically has nothing left. So we actually had to build it back to make a beer style that we wanted to.
Just water, H2O, that's it. I was like, geez, nothing. It's a challenge for my brewer. It's a challenge for us to come up with something, because you get water that has nothing in it except for H2O. We're willing to experiment. That's what we do. Everybody wants something new, something different. So we're always creating something, and water is the base.
It takes a lot of water to make 1 barrel of beer. And if that's using recycled, reclaimed, clean water, then that's where we're going to have to go to. And for us to be able to use it as a product for making beer, we felt, hey, it was a great opportunity for us to go and try it, see what happens. We like the idea of using recycled water. We know that water is a very valuable resource, especially here in the desert.
All the water that we have has been recycled time and time and time again. As it becomes more and more difficult to find good water, we're going to have to start making it, and we're going to have to think outside the box a little bit. We're getting the cleanest, purest water there is possible, even better than RO that we make here. And we also are helping highlight that we have to be more creative about our water solutions.
Beer's pretty universal in bringing people together. So hopefully this, doing it like this will foster a sense of communication and community where people will get together and talk about what they can do to help impact this, problem that we're going to have in the future about the finite resource of water. You can either be part of the future or be left behind, because this is what's going to happen. It just has to. The population is not going down, and the amount of water is not going up.
When I heard about this opportunity to be involved, just growing up in Arizona, knowing the struggles that a lot of the smaller towns and people in the area have had with actually just getting running water, period, to hear that there's now the opportunity to reuse a lot of this water, I find that to be amazing.
We just kind of wanted to help the recycled water message get out there. There are definitely going to be people that take issue with it. But again, that's part of getting the message out, is having those people hopefully ask questions and start a conversation.
They filtered it more. It's much more purified. We're advancing and pushing that envelope a little bit. That's kind of exciting. With beer, what could be better?
Go ahead and jump on it. The water's fine, and it'll make great beer.
So the goal is to kind of put a little bit of face to the technology and make it fun for people to learn about, instead of it. You can listen to a PSA on TV and be like, oh yeah, look at that, okay. But when it's really someone drinking a beer and saying this is that water, people go, wow, amazing. So hopefully it makes it a little more fun instead of being kind of press release boring.
I think it's fantastic because, I mean, our resources are limited. This is not just a cash cow where you can just keep going and it's going to keep being there. So the fact that they're using recycled and they got my taste buds on lockdown is fantastic. So definitely cheers.
We've had some really good comments from people about recycling in general, and of course some people just simply look at us and say, well, why not water too, right? If we can recycle cans, we can recycle plastic bottles, why can't we recycle water?
Direct potable reuse is absolutely the future of water.
Oh, I think it's essentially the future for all of us. So not just brewers, but everybody.
But the bottom line is if they can make great beer with this, that's going to be the sex appeal for other people to go, oh, well, that's good. Let me figure out how I can use this more in my business, home, whatever.
I think direct potable reuse is going to be an important feature in Arizona as we continue to grow and we need more water sources, particularly for cities that don't have access to surface water, such as the Salt River Project water or Central Arizona Project water, and have very limited access to water. Direct potable reuse is going to be that next drop of water that they can use for their residents for drinking water purposes.
This is a very big milestone for us. We've been proud of what we've done up until now, but this is one big leap for us to be able to be taking into a new realm.